Hello again, and welcome back to another episode of the Parkitect Showcase. Today I am giving you a tour of Ice Shelf Islands. This was my second run in completing this map, and this was just more of a decoration run for this map. So I picked a theme to match the snow biome, a Viking village, or Viking theming, or Norse theming. So I will show you the direction I went when I built the place, and then show you all the coasters. There are 3 coasters in this park. We will ride every single one of them. And so let's take on the tour. In the front here, I just built a simple little cottage, blue cottage for the restrooms, and I think it's a vending machine. Vending machine, yes. And this green building over here is where it houses a break room for my employees. And then I built basically this is you can call this the main street or the main thoroughway. I built a little cottage building here for my wipeout. The carousel sits in the back here with a nice little wooden fence in the back and some hay and stuff like that because of the horses. I also wanted to make it that there's snow on the roofs of all the buildings to give it that it just snowed or it was snowing just a while ago. The first rides I put in were Wipeout and the Swinging Ship. Over here in this building is some restaurants, so I think hot dogs and soft drinks. Yep. These are the first couple things. Technically speaking, everything that's sitting on here is, I think, sitting on some type of ice, but I recolored it to make it grass, so to make it more believable and more realistic. Now as we venture out this way across the water, this was the first coaster I built, a family spinning coaster. I called it the Yeti Hunter. So a very, very basic layout. It takes up the majority of the layout back here and goes through a couple of different rocks and stuff like that, and going through the forest. In hindsight, I could have put in like maybe a Yeti prop or something, but I didn't get to do that. Yeah, it's no big deal. It's still called Yeti Hunter. And here's the lovely station. So it looks like a Norse type of station, or Norse themed. Kind of pulled a lot of inspirations from the game Age of Mythology. And you probably can tell that on the map that I made called Brock's Gold Mine, which is my Norse scenario. So I pulled a lot of inspirations from that game, so Norse and Viking mythology, stuff like that. So as we venture back on, we can get to the another restaurants in here with docks and more snow. These shapes are really useful in getting that type of feeling. I wish we had like maybe different cylinder parts, maybe like an oval instead of a circle. Maybe would do it better without these like little creases between the snow. But it looked good to me nonetheless. We venture off to a plaza with a lion in it. So I don't know, lion's kind of medieval and / Viking. More restrooms. Over here, I had to fill out the back corner to give it like something more fleshed out back here. So I put on 2 flat rides in the back here and a little barn and stuff like that. Then over here we'll show you the biggest roller coaster that I put in a scenario, I think, yet. Maybe it is. I might have to double check myself. But this is called Nihog. Nihog is a hyper coaster. Yes, hyper coaster. No, not hyper coaster. No, this is a Giga coaster. I should know my coasters. This is a Giga coaster. And this coaster is somewhat has inspirations from Terran from Phantasialand in Germany, if I'm saying that right. I kind of like the idea of it going through and around itself and going through like rock canyons and tunnels and stuff like that. So I designed it like that a little bit, and I named it after the mythical creature Nihog, because that is a mythical Viking creature like a dragon. It's kind of like a dragon with antlers in a way. So I named it after that, and this is how the coaster was kind of born. And it takes up a quite sizable chunk of Ice Shelf Islands. We'll ride this one probably last. There's still one more coaster I still need to show you, so we'll just backtrack this way to this section of the park. This is where the ride sits. This is Thor's Might, a floorless coaster. This area back here was not completed for the longest time when I was playing through this map, so I didn't know what to do with this area. I didn't like the pathway that led up to the depot, so I decided to delete that, put the paths underneath, and then put in a floorless roller coaster. And I think it turned out pretty nice where it sits, because it kind of sits like your main jewel as you walk into the park. The first thing you would probably see is this building, and I think it turns out pretty well. So this is a very simple layout, floorless coaster, nothing special to it. I didn't fill up this map much, but I felt very content and finished on how much I put into it. So let's go ride some rides. Let's go find a Yeti Hunter and click on that. There we go. Guests are loading. Here, I'll show you some of the stats. So very high, medium, low, all pretty good stats. Hopefully when you try to build a coaster, you try to get even out stats depending on what you're looking for. But I kind of modeled this after Sierra Sidewinder from Knott's Berry Farm, and I think another spinning coaster I can't think of the name at the moment. But I modeled it after two different coasters, because I've only seen one spinning coaster in my lifetime. That would be Sierra Sidewinder and Knott's Berry Farm. So, because I frequent visit Disneyland, Knott's Berry Farm, and Legoland, so I've seen different coasters, and I've been on most of them at this point. So the next destination on my bucket list would actually be Six Flags Magic Mountain. I have never been there in my 27 years of life. I should try to get out there, but maybe that'll be the next thing. I also like to point out I do prefer these cars more than the other spinning cars. I think these spinning cars are just more iconic in my opinion of how a spinning coaster should be. But that is Yeti Hunter, and we'll go on to ride Thor's Might, and then we'll ride after that the Nidhogg. Oh, look at that, train's just leaving. We can jump on that right now. So this coaster wasn't really modeled by anything. I was just kind of like winging it, basically, just building a layout. I wanted a couple inversions. I think it's just one inversion in this ride. Technically, well, is that counted as one inversion? Actually, I'm gonna go look. Let's go gander. No, it's called 3 inversions. So this counts as 3 inversions. Okay, did not know that. Huh, the more you know. So this coaster's not based off anything. Just a very simple floorless coaster with a brake run, a block section in the middle, and then yeah, nothing much to talk about this coaster. It was kind of like one of my more simple coasters that I need to fill out the park in. Okay, there you go. There is Thor's Might. Now the grand jewel of this park is going to be Nidhogg. We'll go ride that. Nope. There we go. Here's the stats for Nidhogg if you guys want to take a look. Very high, medium, low, high decoration as usual. I think this ride took up a lot of my budget when I had money, because Giga coasters are very expensive to build in Parkitect. I like this coaster the most. I think this is like one of my favorite designs that I've done in this game so far. I like that it hugs a lot of the terrain, goes through the rocks, and stuff like that. I adore this coaster, how I designed it. Unfortunately, this will not be a blueprint because it hugs the terrain so well that you can't necessarily blueprint it over. I do try to keep in mind when I build a coaster, I want to try to blueprint it, so you guys can go to download and see it for yourself. There you go, that is Nidhogg. And we'll just see here, we'll do one last overview as I pull out. And this is Ice Shelf Islands. Glad you guys came along in this video, and I will see you guys in the next video.